So what about Muhammad? You know, we're said to model our lives after the Lord Jesus Christ. They modeled their life after Muhammad. But if you have been to 𝗥𝗲𝗰𝗕𝗗𝗏 Apologetics David Wood's YouTube channel, you know that there's some sketchy things about Muhammad, maybe a little bit more than sketchy. So tell us about Muhammad.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, that Muslims are, according to the Quran, supposed to model their lives after Muhammad. That's Surah 33:21 of the Quran. They're told that Muhammad is the pattern of conduct for them. Muslims believe, and the Quran declares that Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, meaning he's last in line. And the reason for that, according to the Quran, is that as we talked about earlier, that the Arabs were the last people to receive a revelation. Everyone else already had the revelation. By the time you get to Muhammad, now Arabs had a revelation in their language, and so everyone had their prophet, everyone had their revelation. So the entire world is good to go. And the Quran claims that earlier prophets spoke about Muhammad. So they said that Muhammad was coming. And as you pointed out, that's you know, that claim that Muhammad is a pattern of conduct for Muslims is kind of a rough one, because if you look at what he did, I mean, he had sex with a 9-year-old girl. He married her when she was 6 or 7, and then consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old. He lusted after the wife of his own adopted son, and then married her, and then had to abolish adoption in Islam in order to justify his relationship with his adopted son's wife. He violated his own revelation. So the Quran says Muslims can have up to 4 wives. Muhammad had at least 9 or 11 at one time. And so you could just go down the list. Muhammad bought, owned, sold, traded black African slaves. He allowed his followers to practice a form of prostitution called mutta, meaning it's called temporary marriage. You hire a prostitute, but you just marry her for the hour or two that you're using her. Islam allows men to beat their wives into submission. If your wife gets out of line, you beat her into submission. And Muslims today will try to deny this and say, no, it just refers to tapping them with a toothbrush or something like that. But oh, go ahead.
So they don't think it's a pimp slap.
No. But actually it is. That's another thing they don't know. That's the origin of the revelation. A man slapped his wife, and she came and complained to Muhammad with her father, and Muhammad said, okay, there should be retaliation, meaning the girl's father would probably go back and just slap the crap out of the husband. But as they're going out, Muhammad receives the revelation, Surah 4 verse 34 of the Quran, saying, nope, I'm sorry, your husband's allowed to do that. So I wanted one thing, but Allah wanted something else. So yeah, I wanted there to be retaliation against your husband, but Allah has told me in the Quran that your husband's allowed to beat you. And so Muslims want to say, you know, now it just refers to something gentle, but we have Muslim records of a Muslim man beating his wife until her skin turned green. And Muhammad had no problem with this. Muhammad blamed the wife. You're a bad wife. And so, yeah, so you have these kinds of things. And so Muslims believe that Muhammad is just the greatest man who ever lived, and he's the seal of the prophets. And they've got some work to do if they want to actually defend that.